somebody approached me with it again. And I thought, well, you know what, I'm a bit more grown up now. Maybe people might listen to me. I might give it another go. And I went to go back into the A company, even though it was crap, again, because in my mind there was nothing else out there. And I had a chap's number called Alan Moffat, who I'd known from years ago, and we go back to the same shipyard together as well. And I ring Alan Moffat to see if I can introduce him to this A company at the age of 28 now. And Alan said to me, this is how one little phone call can change your life. Oh, God, no, you want to take a look at what I'm doing. There's a lad in Tyneside, Gavin Scott, making £5,000 a month. And I'm on the phone saying, how much? He says, I honestly didn't mess about with that. He says, I'm involved in this company. It's a British company. The products are priced right. And it's a doddle compared to looking at that. I says, oh, all right then. He says, I'll send you some information in the post. And I says, where are you living now? Are you still in Sunderland? Oh, aye, on just off Fulwell Road. I said, I'll be there in half an hour. And I went to Alan Elaine's house, and I came home with my Clean Easy starter kit. I'd never even touched the other one, and it was just there, now just going to get binned. I joined Clean Easy. Write this down. I joined Clean Easy on September the 29th, 1993. Now, 9 years of a gap of just being back in the real world again, all my little dreams and goals all come back again. In fact, a lot of the dreams and goals and stuff I'd had stuck on my fridge had been still stuck on the fridge, and other stuff had been added to it across the years. And I had all this stuff stuck on my fridge, and I thought, you know what? This Clean Easy thing might give us that. So I quickly just started to talk to people after work. And this is why I want you to know how quick it can be done. All you people who might want to go for New York and all this sort of stuff, right? My very first month in the business, I'll tell you how it went for me. Write this down. I was halfway through a period when I started the business. So week 1 and week 2 had already passed. I joined Clean Easy in week 3 of a period. My very first week, I just gave out 7 catalogues. I had my startup kit, which had 50 in, but they were still in the house. I just gave out 7 catalogues. Neighbours either side, Pat and Bob over the road, my mother, a couple of other family members. And out of 7 catalogues, write this down, out of 7 catalogues in 1993, I picked up £142 in orders. Well, I was blown away. I'd never sold that much in the other company in 3 months. Right? I was absolutely blown away. I'm thinking, God, this will work. This will work. And I was talking to more and more people and trying to recruit a couple of people, talking to people. Loads of people shot me down. Friends shot me down. But my own stepdad, it's awful, really, because you're only trying to better yourself, but he just absolutely ridiculed me. Now, 7 catalogues generated £142 worth of orders. That's what I did personally. But because I'd recruited a couple of people, collectively we did 938. The very next week, I only did £35 myself, but collectively we did 1,700. And then my first full month in Clean Easy, my very first full month in this business in 1993, me and my little team, because I recruited a couple of more people and they recruited a couple of more people, without the break free option, to me this is going to explode now, if it's done properly. Week 1 of the new period, week 2, week 3, week 4, my first full month in the business, I'd been in Clean Easy for 6 weeks, we did £10,074. It blew me away. I still had a full-time job, right? And I've brought with me today, because I can't do this from the company stage, I was so excited I went and got my statement photocopied. And back then, the cheque used to come on the bottom of the statement, and you had to tear it off and actually take the money to the bank. It was a right chore. You know, I mean, the fact that it just goes straight in by direct debit now saves loads of time. But what a mess on this was, having to go to the bank with your cheque. No, I'm only kidding. Please understand. That's a joke. Right. The statement come with a cheque attached to the bottom, and I want to just show you, I mean, obviously you people at the back can't see this, but I can't do this at the NIA, at the NEC, because it's far too big. This is my very first Clean Easy cheque, and it shows you here, I'll just pick somebody trustworthy. I'm only kidding, right? Where my finger is, there's my name, where my finger is the £10,074, and where my other finger is the date. Isn't that right? £10,074, 1993. You got it? You got it? I'm not lying to anyone, am I? This is my very first Clean Easy statement. £10,074, 1993. So, even back in 1993, we went gold in 6 weeks. Now, I'm just trying to say to you, it's all there, isn't it? Trustworthy? Mm-hmm. Oh, very. 10,074, 1993. That's my very first ever Clean Easy cheque. I was over the bloody moon. I went to Edward Thompson's in Sunderland, had it photocopied, and then somebody was getting something laminated, and I thought, oh, what's that? I says, oh, can you run it through there as well? So I've had this for 17 years, right? But I've used it in my story when I'm talking to people for 17 years. So like Neil said earlier about being brief and dramatic, lead with the money, okay? I was so excited about that, right? I'll just drop that down there. Right. The other thing that I did back in those early days, I used to draw my little team out in circles because I was so excited as my little team was growing. And I used to draw around a camera film tube. For you young people, cameras used to have this like funny thing inside that you wound round. Well, long before the digital thing that you all... So with the empty black tube, or you could have used an egg cup, could have improvised. But with an empty camera film tube, I used to draw my little team. And I was just so excited, person by person, as they joined my team. I used to write the information. I used to write their name, where they come from, their Clean Easy ID number, their phone number, and the date they joined. Oh, I was so excited as the thing began to grow, right? I mean, you don't have to do this. I'm just trying to share some of it with you. And then I grew onto a bigger piece of paper. Right, look. This was my little team starting to grow. Now, if you can see this, the pink ones that are coloured in pink were people I'd personally introduced to the business. I'd personally introduced them, but I put them into people's teams to try and strengthen their teams. Okay, it's all real. Anyone could have a look at the dates on any of this. It's all real. It's all back in 1993 and early 1994, right? I was just so... You didn't need to do it. You didn't need to do it. And now all of this stuff comes from Clean Easy as a printout daily. You just get the figures. But I was excited about knowing my team, tracking who was where and what they were doing, and if I could help them, and if I had somebody else in the area and we could get together. So this was too exciting for me. And I finished up on wallpaper, right? Can somebody... Will you help me? Oh, Malcolm, yeah, Malcolm. Right, look at this. Now, I want to show you something here because this is really spooky. So I finished up on wallpaper, right? Now, I'm only showing you this because I had the interest and the excitement to just keep on adding on and looking at my team as it was beginning to grow. There's me in the middle, the yellow, coloured in yellow. I haven't touched this for years, right? This is all coloured, the pinks for the people I'd personally sponsored. It goes on and on and on, right? Now, this is back in 1993. Any of you could see the dates on this. Where Malcolm's hand is there on the left-hand side, that's the bottom of the page. It's roundabout. We'll shout me a date out at the bottom.
June 1994.
June 1994. And if you come up to the top of here, any of the dates, anybody could see these dates?
May 1994.
Right, so this was my first 9 month in the business. Remember I said I joined in September the 29th, 1993. This represents my first 9 months in the business. I was buzzing. But you know what's really interesting, if you know the size of our business, and I'll come to it later, Stephen Bourne and Anne Binks are not on here. Sue Burris is not on here. These are all people in our team. Neil Young's not on here. Gary Watson's not on here. Peter Rea's not on here. So many of the people that are stars within our business, Heather Owen, James O'Neill, Sue and Jeff Burris, Helen, loads and loads of people that are prominent big people in our team today aren't even on here. I hadn't come across them. We hadn't even come across them. But here's something really weirdly interesting. Over Christmas, I bought some mugs, personalised mugs with BMWs on for some people in the team, and I got their name on the number plate. Anyway, off eBay. The chap who was selling them on eBay was from Barnsley. So because I had ordered so many mugs, I says, rather than send them in the post, can I come and pick them up? I noticed your address is in Barnsley. I just live in Sheffield. He said, oh, yeah, no problem. So I go across to pick the mugs up, and I give him an information pack. He says, oh, God, I used to do this years ago. I said, how long ago was that? Oh, he says, it'll be easy 15 years. I says, oh, I used to have somebody in my team called Vince in Barnsley. He says, oh, it was a fella called Vince that introduced me. I says, never in the world. I said, oh, well, have a look through this information. The Lord's changed since you were last in it. Long story short, I left him the information, told him how much things had updated. Here he is selling stuff on eBay anyway. I said, I'll send you some more stuff when I get home. Long story short, he finished up joining. But when I went back across to see him, I thought, I wonder if he's on my wallpaper. Because now I know his full name was Anthony Harding. Do you know what's really weird? I get home and look on my wallpaper, thinking if he was in it 15 years, 16 years ago, I might have him on my wallpaper. Right? Anyone in the audience? Right? Just hold the bottom of there, mister. Right? Way down from me, all the way down from me, I've actually coloured him in and put an R extra so you'll find it. What's the name there?
Anthony Harding.
Shout it out.
Anthony Harding.
Anthony Harding. When did he join?
7th of June 94.
7th of June 1994. Well, I took my wallpaper when I went to give his kit out. Right? Do you know what? Honest to God, he thought I was Paul Daniels. Because for him, I just says, oh, I've brought something to show you. He must have thought I was nuts walking in his house for a roll of wallpaper. I says, I've brought something to show you. Is that you there? And he was like, bloody hell, that's my old phone number. Right? So, the point here is that there's two parts to this. Well, there's probably more than two parts. Here he is joining again 17 years later. Guess what he's saying? God, I wish I bloody stuck with it. And then do you know what else we get, us people who's been around a while? Well, it's all right for you because you joined back 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 17 years ago. I think it's such bullshit, right? Because I tell you what's interesting. Can I say that? You can edit it out, can't you? Right, okay then. If it's all right for me, because I joined 17 years ago, do you know what else is interesting on this one piece of paper? Not one of them's still in it. Not one, except me. Yet I went through all the no's, all the excitement of people joining, then people do, I can't be on with this, I can't be bothered with this. Because, guys, you don't know, you can't believe it, you've got no idea what it was like 17 years ago. You had to order your goods from your upline, wait for your products from your upline. You were meeting at motorway services to pick up your bloody stuff. Then you had to wait for your upline to pay you your bonus check and all this sort of messing about. There was no direct deliveries. Nobody had their own account till they got to a certain level. It was a nightmare. And I just think, God, if we just had what we have today. So, you know, starting off today, you've got no idea what you've got hold of. You really haven't. Because this was people who've been around a while, I've just noticed, nodding there, Stuart, we know what it was like and how hard it was. It's so much simpler now that we have all the different options like break free and everything. Everyone gets their own account. The mycleaneasy.com. There are so many things now going for the business that I personally think, and this is with a 17-year trading history, if you like, 17 years of experience in the business, I personally think this thing's going to absolutely bloody explode. And you can either be part of it, or like Anthony Harden and the other people back then who just like let it go, be looking at it in a few years' time saying, God, I wish I'd stuck with it. And what I would say to you all is just stick with it. Stick with it. And you're going to have, and this is something else I can do because it's a smaller place, I've actually brought with me my old fridge door. Only because I lost the house, and I lost the fridge, way back 17 years ago, you can see on this tatty bit of paper, you know, about 16, 17 years ago, I transferred the stuff that was on the fridge door onto a fridge door size piece of paper. I literally just, all these things were stuck on the fridge door with magnets and blue tack and sellotape. I took it all off and just glued it with a Pritt stick onto what was like a fridge door piece of paper. Now, what's really interesting is, for me, looking back, all of these things were absolutely wild dreams of mine. Goals, dreams, call it what you want. My point to you is you need to have your version. You so need to have your version of this, right? Because on here was a fax machine. I wanted a fax machine so I could send my orders into the company. I couldn't afford a fax machine. I used to go down the video shop and send it in from there. So I wanted a fax machine. But on the same goal board, on the same fridge door, was a gold Rolex watch, was a Rolls Royce, was a Bentley, was a computer, was electric gates. Just crazy, crazy things. And you can all see this. It's all real because I can walk about here. It's dead easy, right? Ordinary person in a three-bedroom council house, yet some of the things I wanted was absolutely insane, as many people would tell me. Stepdad, you got your head up your arse, lad. people who weren't as nasty as that, you've got your head in the clouds, lad. Now, you know what's really weird about this? This is real, this piece of paper. Particularly my stepdad, I mean, I don't know whether some of you people have had this. Has anybody, quick show of hands, has anybody had somebody laugh at them or make fun of them? Just put your hands up. Yeah? Right, well, look around if you knew. It's going to happen to you. Just get over it. Just think about this, right? 5 years' time, you can either be right or they're going to be right, aren't they? Think about it. 5 years down the road, if you don't stick in and make something of it, they'll have been right. Where if you actually make something of this business, you will have been right and you'll have showed them anyway. Has anyone had that, you know, when the people are making fun of you and they go like, what, you're in clean easy? Yeah, isn't it unbelievable? We would never do that in return, would we? You know, if someone said to you, you're a car mechanic or you're a computer programmer or you're a hairdresser, you wouldn't take the mick. Like my stepdad, I can remember him looking at this, right? I'm making him a cup of coffee on the bench here. On my fridge, he says, Evelyn, that's my mum's name, Evelyn, look what this daft bugger's got stuck on here now. He's 3 feet away from me. I'm making him a cup of coffee and 3 feet away he's saying, look what this daft bugger's got stuck on here now. Right? But you see, he took the mick out of my little clean easy business, but I wouldn't have dreamt, he's a bricklayer, right? I wouldn't have dreamt of saying to him, what, you're a bricklayer? Like a bricklayer? What do you mean? What, you just lay bricks? What, all day? What, just like brick after brick after brick after brick after brick? Does it not get boring after a while? How long have you been doing it? 38 years. 38 years, just laying bricks. What do you, like a wall, just a wall? A lot? Why, houses? Higher. We build a hospital, some scaffolding. We wouldn't do it. We wouldn't bloody do it. It's not in the normal person's nature to take the pee out of somebody's job, is it? But you join Clean Easy, something a little bit unconventional, and it's like, you're doing what? Well, honestly, take this from me. You can either give in, and they'll always remind you they were right. Because next time a catalogue comes through your door or theirs, they go, oh, this is nothing you tried. You didn't get very far with that, did you? Or you can do the opposite. And I would recommend you do the opposite. It's just me, right? But I would recommend you do the opposite. Just go bloody show them. Because Boots the Chemist have got this wonderful new machine that you can make posters with. And I went in with a few of my photographs of my life now and made myself this poster of Boots the Chemist. So, the balmy thing is, that was the wish list when I was living in a 3-bedroom council house with bugger all to my name and £43,000 worth of bad debt and going through a divorce when everyone was laughing at me. And that, which you can't see at the back, but you will get a chance in a second, that's before and after. You know what I mean? Before Clean Easy, now. And this has got photographs on of all the different things that I wished for here. I could put a black marker pen and tick them all off. So, I mean, you can have a look at that later or whatever. But what I want to quickly do now